In the 1980s, when I was going to high school, one of my daily routines for eating for myself was after coming home from school was to put a frozen pizza in the oven, and we didn't have much money. And back in the day, it was called Geno's frozen pizza, and they were about $1. Now they've doubled in price. Geno's was bought out by Totino's. Totino's has since made some changes, and I'm actually a little afraid to try this, but for the sake of the channel, for the sake of the data, I did see something that looked a little bit more appealing than that old school after school pizza, and that is this Totino's Ultimate, which looks like it has both the cubed pepperoni and sliced pepperoni on it. I'm just telling you from looking at the picture, it feels like it's got that same really nice crust that Geno's and Totino's have always had on all their pizzas and pizza rolls. I don't know, let's see what it looks like on the inside here. We're preheating the oven for 450. We follow the recommended cooking instructions. And again, I place directly on the pizza rack, so my crust comes out as I want it to. Or if you have a pizza stone, highly recommend you preheat with the pizza stone and then place the pizza directly on the pizza stone. And you never ever wash a pizza stone. Okay, well that looks a little bit different from the picture, doesn't it? Let's just kind of sort these out a little bit. I think they got shifted in shipping. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I see one cubed pepperoni. Maybe there's some others under the cheese there. But yeah, let's go pop this in the oven. Actually, you know what this looks like? This looks like it's a larger pizza that the factory cuts like it's coming out as one long pizza, and it looks like it's cut here. It doesn't have a rounded crust like these two sides do. That's interesting. Let me bring it up to the camera real close so you can see it. This might bring back some memories for people. That crust is absolutely thicker than the traditional Geno's / Totino's, but it feels kind of airy in that same way. Yeah, I'm a little concerned that this is probably a pizza for children with children's taste buds. Listen, I thought the previous pizza was going to be good and I was wrong. This one I think I'm not going to like, and well, I hope I'm wrong. There's one way to know for sure. I'm going to go take this to the oven and be right back with the cooked pizza so we can try it. All right, it has just come out of the oven. I may have left it in there just a smidge longer than I intended, but it looks all right. The instructions did say to keep it in an extra minute or two for a crispier crust, but here we go. And this is a very greasy pizza. It dripped all over, so make sure you have something to catch the grease on if you're cooking directly on the pizza rack, or if it's a pizza stone, just wipe it down with a paper towel. Again, you never clean a pizza stone. You don't want to get it wet. So, all right, I don't know this one. It's awfully greasy. But hey, things I do for you guys. Here we go. This has taken me back. So even though it's the ultimate version of that classic Geno's pizza, and I keep calling it Geno's because it's always Geno's to me. But that classic frozen Totino's after school special is what I'm going to refer to it as. It kind of tastes the same as I remember it, with perhaps a bit more cheese. Of course, we got the real pepperoni. The crust absolutely is crisp. I mean, you can see there. Again, I did leave it in a little bit long, but I wouldn't say it's burned. It's close to being burned, but I'd say it's well done. And it's firm, you know, it doesn't flop around or anything like that. But again, where you can tell where there's like no crust because there's nowhere for me to really pick this up. This is almost like getting a piece of a pizza that comes from the middle of the pizza rather than, a piece that has an edge. That's so weird, but I'm guessing it's the manufacturing process. Let me grab one more bite. It's still really, really hot, so I'm just being a little bit cautious and try these pepperoni and see if those are any good. This has taken me back 40 years. Um, I really thought it would have changed a lot more, but it's salty. Well, maybe because of the pepperoni, but just overall, it's definitely not as sweet as I was afraid it was going to be. It's no, it's salty. So overall, like they got a good portion of cheese on here. Back in the day, or at least on the non-ultimate version, perhaps uh, there wasn't this much cheese. The crust wasn't that thick. The crust is not much thicker, but a little bit. For $2, over at Walmart, I think it's a great value. However, no pun intended, that's their brand, right? Great value. Never mind. Um, if I was still, 14, 15, 16 years old, 17 years old, I'd probably still be eating these every day because I wasn't that finicky. And by the way, we didn't really have any traditional Neapolitan classic pizza places back in the day. So we have other things to compare it to these days that puts me in a situation of knowing better. However, aside from the saltiness, which means, have a drink handy, compared to the previous pizza that we did that was 6 times more money than this, and granted, you got a bit more pizza, not much more, I'd be hard pressed to say which one I'd rather buy for the money. So this one, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. Yeah. See you on the next one. Cheers.